Hi, this is Rain Travels, and I am coming to you to talk to you about Walmart. And I'm talking to you about Walmart because I really like them as a company to invest in. Should you invest? I don't know. I'm not a licensed broker. I'm not your broker. I don't have any license and certifications. But what I do have is knowledge and looking at what Walmart has to offer as a stock. So let's get it started. What would you do for a Walmart stock? Okay. Well, Walmart, let's just look at some of the basic things they have. The grocery store in the USA, there are super centers at the recorded time of the recording of this video. They have 3,566 stores, discount stores, that's the super centers, 3,000 plus. Discount stores, they have 351. Neighborhood markets, they have 673. Small stores, which I'm not sure what that is, but I guess a little tiny Walmart store, 21. And they are in competition with the likes of Publix, Kroger, and H-E-B. You know, if you're from the Texas area, you know. Now, they also have Sam's Clubs, which they have 601 of those. And they are in direct competition with Costco and BJ's, those big super center stores that are that you have a monthly membership. And then also they have the Walmart.com. And online presence, they compete with Amazon Prime. They have the Walmart.com. They also have where you can sell as a third-party seller on Walmart.com. Look it up. You can look up anything on Walmart.com, and even if they don't sell it on their particular store or online as Walmart, they have a third-party seller. And then they also have Walmart Creator Program. And lastly, they have moved over to NASDAQ. What? Yeah, because you got to think. They are in competition, direct competition with Amazon and Amazon Prime. Not to mention, when they've moved over to NASDAQ, along with all the internet IT type companies, they are now in the NASDAQ Top 100. I wonder who got bumped. Not sure. Now, in the last 5 years, Walmart has an average increase of 37%. Ooh. And it started off as a defensive stock, meaning non-IT. However, now that they've moved over to NASDAQ, that changes things. Let's look at the splits. They do stock splits frequently, and the reason for that is so that their associates can afford their stock and that regular people, everyday people, can afford their stock. They have an associate stock purchase plan, an ASPP. They've split the stock 11 times between the years of 1970 and 2024. Now that we have the fractional shares where you can buy fractional shares, some companies like Robinhood allow you to buy for $1, and then there's other like Chase or any other companies, Fidelity maybe, I don't even know, because I'm not a broker and I'm not your broker, but I'm sure they sell fractional shares. So therefore, that's not really that important. But what is important is that they make it affordable. So they purposely allow people to purchase whether or not the platform you're using or the service provider vendor that's selling stock for that's allowing you to buy stock, said that wrong, allowing you to buy stock will allow you to buy it for a lower cost at $5 or less. And also Walmart will split their stock every couple of years to keep that price lower. Now, what I've noticed is if you are trying to decide something like you have a really big purchase and you're saving up your money and you're doing a high yield savings account for 3.4, 4.5, whatever, and you realize it's going too slow. Have you ever considered perhaps Walmart stock? You know? See this paper? I eat paper. I chew paper. So would you talk to a random person about Walmart stock online? To know. But what I suggest, look into Walmart stock instead of taking your money and directly paying off a mortgage, for example. You take that money and you buy something like Walmart stock or the S&P, and you do it for 5 years. And you will see that compound interest totally be able to pay something off really quickly. For example, I was talking to a friend that wanted to pay off a mortgage that was $250,000, say $250,000, and I suggested if you can find out a part-time job, a different stream of income to get you more money, like about $1,900 a month, and you were to put it in, I don't know, Walmart stock, that would actually, at the end of 5 years of putting $1,900 a month, be just a little bit under $250,000. I think that the math was $239,000, $249,000. Again, I chew paper, so take my advice, maybe. I'm taking my advice. I just got to get reemployed because I'm a part of the 300,000 women that look like me that were laid off. But that is a really great way to accelerate your funds and your savings as fast as possible. See you later.